Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps and I'm here with none other than my homie, Spencer Fearon. How are you?
How you doing,
it's good to see you.
Mrs. Knowledge, they should start calling you because you're doing your thing. You're everywhere, even when you're standing still. I can't keep up with you, man. I'm like, you're doing ITV, you're doing a podcast with us at Sky, you're jetting around the world. I'm saying, what? Do you sleep? And you still look good.
Thank you.
God's blessing you.
It's definitely a tough job. Now, so we're here. We just wrapped up the Joshua versus Takam weigh-in. Let me get your thoughts on the fight tomorrow night. Last minute replacement, not what everyone expected. Okay. We're here.
What fight?
The fight? Joshua.
What fight? That's not a fight. That's not a fight. No, on the reals. Realistically, if we look at the body definition of Takam, he is aesthetically body beautiful. He is. And it's different to see like Joshua in with somebody who is that kind of body beautiful, like him, because he's body beautiful. But it's not a bodybuilding, it's not a body competition. This is boxing. And if we look on the past, I've seen Takam and like, hair's gone, he's got that beard look now. He looks like somebody like in American films. Put him in the hole, you know? He looks like one of those kind of guys. Anthony Joshua is the wrong guy to try and play tough guy with, because Anthony Joshua will hit him so hard his hair will grow back. I swear. By the time Anthony Joshua's finished with him, Takam will have an afro. You know what I mean? Seriously, he can come to you and you can hook him up. You can get a nice pearl and put some curls in it.
My God,
it's a different proposition when you're dealing with somebody who can hit, who has that animalistic value like what Anthony Joshua has. But I know for a fact that he will come to fight. You can look in Takam's eyes. He's just happy for the call up and he's saying, well, I'm here. He's most probably getting, not most probably, he's getting his biggest payday thanks to Matchroom and Eddie Hearn. So he's going to try and grab this with two hands. But unfortunately, he's going to have this immovable object in front of him that is called Anthony Joshua. So I don't see this fight going 4 rounds, to tell you the honest truth. But what I do know, it will be entertaining because he will try to give it.
I was just going to ask you what your prediction was. So you say within 4?
I would say within 4 rounds. I'll be really, really surprised if it goes longer than that. But like I'm saying, Anthony Joshua is the man. Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight in the world. And Deontay Wilder, realistically, is the champion of the Americas. That is it. But the champion of the world is Anthony Joshua.
Well, let's talk about that fight, because obviously that's the one next year that everybody wants to see. What do you make of that fight? I know there's been a lot of exchange, trash talk between the two fighters. Well,
you know, number one is this. It's like, I think maybe Anthony Joshua was playing when he said like, oh, that fight could happen in, was it 2018 or 2020 or something like that? I think he was actually joking. I should have phoned him and said, hey, you're mucking around. Because really and truly, he doesn't have to go to America to fight. Even though everyone's talking about, oh, America, America. No, you have to look now. There are great fighters who are out of the UK who are world champions. We've got numerous world champions. Anthony Joshua is waving the flag not just for British boxing but for world boxing, because he's becoming this iconic figure where people are looking at him and they're romanticizing with Anthony Joshua and they're going along with his journey. Anthony Joshua is the real deal. You got to think he ticks all the boxes, especially when we're looking at now like of a new UK, and Anthony Joshua's waving a flag. America used to be the land of opportunity. But just to look at Anthony Joshua's story, he's showing us right now Great Britain is the land of opportunity. But I think Anthony Joshua would have made it anywhere he goes. So the land of opportunity is from yourself and what you think about. Because what you think about, you bring about. Anthony Joshua is constantly thinking success. Yeah. Obviously, we can see that. And, I mean, God bless the kid.
All right, so Eddie Hearn was saying that there would not be a 50-50 split should AJ and Wilder fight. Do you agree with that?
And why should there be? No disrespect. I've never seen, and I've watched every single one of Deontay Wilder's fights. Have you ever seen Deontay Wilder fight in front of 90,000? I'm just trying to think that. Furthermore, people don't even know. In America, people don't even know who Deontay Wilder is. So for you to say you want a 50-50 split, how many belts have you got? Just out of curiosity. What's your notable win? Have you beaten a legend? And then you can't talk about, oh, well, Klitschko lost to Tyson Fury, but came out. That Klitschko was hot. That Klitschko was a vibrant Klitschko. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua got knocked down. And to quote Les Brown, when you get knocked down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Anthony Joshua did all of those things, won the fight in an emphatic style. You know what I mean? Grits his teeth, throws big shots, barrage, stops Klitschko. Deontay Wilder, when you came to London, you got badded up by Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew's a small heavyweight because he's still a cruiserweight. Tony Bellew kind of suck it on you a little bit, and you didn't want to play no brave talk. You know what I mean? And the next thing, you're always screaming at this bomb squad, right? Bomb squad. I guarantee you he doesn't say that when he's walking through customs. I guarantee you he doesn't say that. He keeps his mouth shut. Yeah, you can't pan the camera over there, people are laughing. That's what happened. Listen, man, the game is the game. You cannot be asked for a 50-50 split because it's what you're bringing to the table. You have the WBC title, yeah? Authentically, if you go through it, the WBC title isn't the longest title. It's about 6 months gap. The WBA is actually, through lineage, is the older title by about 6 months, right? You haven't. You got the. It's not authentic, but the one for prestige, we do romanticize about this green, having a green belt around you, right? Because Ali had it and everyone, right? But you think about it. But on the reels, you're not bringing anything to the table. Okay, I do rate him. So what's fair to you then? What would be fair? What would be fair? 60-40. Okay. Right, to be fair, because you know, but 60-40 and... How about 60-40 to the winner? Even that. Even that. But what I'm trying to say to you, before any of that, I think Deontay Wilder should realize in his head that, okay then, well, let me build this fight. And it's not me dissing Deontay, because I actually like the guy, he's cool, right? But I'm saying, to be fair, come over here, fight Dillian Whyte. If you can beat Dillian Whyte, what it's going to do to the British fans, it's going to say, right, we're building your name. We know who you are better than you fighting who you fought in the past. And you ain't impressed us. The knockout wins have been impressive, but within the rounds, you haven't really impressed us. You impressed me when you beat Jermaine Stavern. You impressed me then. That was impressive. You know what I mean? Because you opted to box and you was listening to Mark Breland. But apart from that, you haven't really impressed me. Anthony Joshua's the guy. Yeah. And that's the truth. He is the guy. Since we're on the topic of the heavyweights, I want to ask you what your thoughts were when Luis Ortiz tested positive for his drug test. A leopard never changes its spots. It's not the first time he's done it. It's not the first time that he's been... Do you understand? And I'll tell you, listen, the next thing on this, right? Fair play to Deontay Wilder, because Povetkin fight. A lot of people, oh, but Povetkin, maybe Povetkin would be, but he was up to take that fight. And then the Luis Ortiz would say, oh, it's still a dangerous fight. And he was up to take those fights, so he's willing to fight guys. But with Luis Ortiz, this is no surprise to me, sis. It's like, well, I mean, it's no surprise. Yeah. It happened before. I know that Deontay also mentioned that. We did an interview about a month and some before it happened, and he's like, look, at the end of the day, he wasn't being avoided. It's just that people knew what he was doing. And then when this happened, it was just sort of like, wow, it's no good. Exactly, it's a bummer, because I feel it for Deontay Wilder. Yeah. Obviously, he's trying to be a business person and say, like, he's trying to get the fights, Spence. I mean, how do you get the fights if everybody seems to be falling off? No, but you're saying you're trying to get the fights. You said that Dillian Whyte was nothing. You said that Dillian Whyte ain't no fighter. So therefore, come over here to the UK and fight Dillian Whyte. Well, he may not have a choice, because if Dillian Whyte wins the WBC silver heavyweight title, then he becomes the mandatory. Right. But wouldn't you rather become the mandatory, and then purse bids are going to go out, and Eddie Hearn could bid lower this time now? Why don't you just take the, what was it, 3 or 4 million that was offered? That's a bag up. 4 million that Eddie Hearn offered. Has Deontay Wilder earned 4 million before? Not that I'm aware of. He hasn't. I'm telling you, he hasn't earned that. So therefore, someone's offering you way more than what you've earned before for you to go travel to a guy that you believe, he said, on I quote, that he ain't no one, he can't fight. So come over and fight Dillian Whyte, and we'll see what's happening, man. Yeah. And I know we got to wrap up, but I wanted to mention, ask you your thoughts on the World Boxing Super Series and how the tournaments are going. No, it's superb. I'm so looking forward to George Groves versus Chris Eubank Jr. You know what I mean? I'm so looking forward to that fight. You're shaking your head, right? Right. But I'm so looking forward to that fight, because here we have Eubank Jr., who's especially his father, they've put up with a lot of criticism, and they've done things the wrong way. I wish them all the success, but George Groves as well, because George Groves needed to show that he's rejuvenated, and he has showed us that he's now rejuvenated, so I'm hyped for that, and plus you're doing a really good job, sis. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. What about the cruiserweights? You know what? Just had, now we have Murat Garcia versus Yunil Dortigos. That's going to be, whew! No. Fire. That is a wicked fight. And like, when's that fight? What date is that fight? It's supposed to be January, February of next year. You know what? And then now, remember, now we also have Briedis versus Usyk. Yeah, but you know what? To me, I got Usyk winning the whole competition, right? Okay. Because Usyk is a cruiserweight Lomachenko. But now, I'm like, it's a toss-up. But I'm going to stick with my first thoughts, and my first thoughts is, like, Usyk's going to win the whole thing. Yeah, Usyk's gonna win the whole thing. I'm sticking with Usyk and done, man.
Who's a close second then for you?
Breeders is good, you know. Nah, look, Usyk's winning the whole thing. There ain't no close second. Usyk's the man. He's got skills to pay the bills. He's got heart to play the part. He's the guy.
All right, Spence, thanks so much for your time. I always enjoy speaking with you.
To hear your roundup on next week's Ringside Toe to Toe podcast, because you are really, really good at your job, sis.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bye, fight fans. Hey, fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. Just before a big fight, I'm often asked, you know, what are the odds? Like, who should I put my money on? Who do you got? It just makes sense for me to tell you guys that you should go visit Bovada. The link is in our description box. Just click it and you'll be directed right over to them. And also, if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate it if you did. Just click right here.